Hello, hello, and welcome back. Yes, it's another edition of Printing's Alive with me, your host, Warren Werbit, where we talk anything anybody wants print. Today we have, yes, you got it, and you're tired of hearing me say it, but another special guest, right? Everybody's special in this industry, and if you don't think so, then get out of this industry. We've got Chris Minn from the Digital Ink Agency, or what do you want me to say?
Yeah, that's about right.
Digital Ink Agency.
Yeah,
Okay, I said it.
we're
Digital
marketing.
Ink Agency. What's happening, Chris?
Yeah, good man. Good to see you. Thanks for having me on. Bit
Always
of
a
a fan, if I'm
pleasure.
honest. There's not many Canadians I'm a fan of, but you're one of them.
Don't let me stop you. Keep going. I'm listening.
Well, there's a few that I am a fan
Oh, I don't
of,
want to hear about the others. I just want to hear what you think of me. The others, I'm sure they're fine people, right?
They're amazing people. But no, all joking aside, thanks so much for having me on, buddy. Loved working with you recently, or collabing with you over at Print United. Found you refreshing. First thing in the morning, it was like a slap around the face with a wet kipper. But it was good. It was good. And I really enjoyed our time, our conversation, and I found your approach to what we're doing really, really good, man. And I love the way you look at it from the printer's perspective. So I just want to throw that in there.
So I'll just say thank you, and thank you again. That's quite nice. And what a great way to start off a podcast with all these accolades. You know what? As far as the way I look at it, there is only one way to look at it. I am a printer. I wasn't born a printer. I was born a little kid. And then there's a whole story, which I won't get into because we don't have a lot of time for that. But once you're in print and you're manufacturing, you're a printer. And my ultimate goal is to make sure that printers do, I don't even know if it's proper English, but that they do better and that they minimize the troubles that they have. And if I could bring ideas, solutions, thoughts, give them something to think about on their own to do it a little differently, that's what I want to do. As far as the OEMs and all the manufacturers of equipment go, like I love them all, but I'm not here to promote them. I'm here to make sure that they do it right and I protect the printer. Might sound a little big and a little crazy, but I don't know who out there is talking for the printer or even questioning people, for good answers. And everyone's trying to sell us on the supplier side. It's their business. That's what they have to do. So no disrespect to them, and I get it. But we all get sold a lot of stuff that doesn't necessarily work for certain companies. So I just want to make sure anybody buying something is making sure that the people selling are answering the right questions, delivering us the information we need, and then everybody just go sell and do business. I just don't want to see something sold. Sorry, I don't want to see something sold and then it sits in the company and doesn't work.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest learnings I took from you in Orlando, because obviously we're in the marketing space and we're trying to market a product or a service, and generally we like to work within, over the last 10 years, SaaS software solutions, right? Print software is so important for the industry. But sitting down with you, I get a completely different perspective on how that should be sold, and focusing more on the challenges, but then also looking at, if I'm going to get this press and I'm going to get this software, like it's all got to work, it's all got to be affordable, and then I can't rely on one thing if the other thing's going to drop off. And I think that's really interesting. You also mentioned a word in your opening statement there, manufacturing. And I think that's the other thing I've really learned from yourself and our mutual friend, John Bailey, who say printers are now becoming manufacturers rather than just printers, because they're diversifying in so many things that they make. So listen, these conversations are fantastic for us in the other side of the industry, because we're learning about the people that actually we're trying to help. And I think we don't know enough about the PSP. And again, our mutual friend, Mr. Bailey, was telling me the other day, get out, get down to the factory on the print floor, spend some time there, sniffing some paper and, really learning, what goes on there. And I think that's so, so important. So I thank you for that.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Listen, I think more on the people selling us have to come and really appreciate what it is. Manufacturing is just making something. So anyone who puts two strings together, folds it, glues it, and sends it out as a manufacturer of folded glued string. It's just important that from what I see on the printer side, and I keep saying it, and maybe people are tired of me, maybe not, but we're the people who go out and spend the money. We're the people that go out and get the financing. We're the
Sure.
people that sign those contracts that when you sign it and you don't make those payments, you're in big trouble. On the
Yeah.
side of the people selling us, nobody has any skin in the game. Yes, there are some companies where it's private and their owners, and yes, there's
Sure.
some, but in general, there's no skin in the game. And I think that is one of the biggest issues for everybody to understand, because on our side, we could only buy so much. We only have so much budget. And if we
Hmm.
want to buy more, then we got to make sure our relationships are good and that everything is working. But it's a little scary when, you have to sign something, you're making a 5-year commitment, and the person you're dealing with probably won't even be with the company 5 years.
No, no.
Right. So it's a bit of
Yeah.
a I don't know. It's a bit of a bit wavy out there. I'm just trying to think fishing stuff, but
Yeah.
it's a bit wavy on the water, and everyone's got to, we all need to be throwing the life jackets to all of us to make sure that we all survive and do well.
I think what's interesting about you, Warren, for me right now is that you've entered into a new t-shirt apparel space, right? And you've got on this lovely before digital there was print, which I think you've chosen the digital one because it was made from digital. I don't know. I just get the impression.
Absolutely,
Right, I
absolutely.
love that.
I try
Thank
to do
you.
that for every show. I'm gonna have to make more shirts. I'm running
You
out
are,
because
you
I
are.
do
I
a lot of
think,
podcasts.
but the interesting point is, you touch on multiple things in your range, mental health as well, and all the other acronyms that go with that, which are fantastic. But I think you're now the 360, aren't you? Because we would pitch to you as an agency the importance of going digital online, having a storefront, an automated workflow, and you've just gone off and done it on your own.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Uh, it's definitely not as easy and quick as they say
No,
it is.
no, it's not.
Right.
It's
It
not.
is not. It is. Oh my God. Honestly, I'm even surprised that I'm in it, because
Yeah,
it was never one of my intentions or one of my plans or one of my
yeah,
thoughts.
yeah,
Right. And it all just came about. And I'll tell you, so it came about because I'm doing the consulting thing, and it's okay, but I don't have to tell you that it's pretty tough to try to convince people that know they need help that they should pay for help.
yeah,
Nobody wants to pay for the help that they need, but which is not paying for help. It's making an investment when you hire someone who could help you, fix up your business and change it.
sure.
Um, and then, I'm doing that. And then I thought, I'm going to make some t-shirts and stuff for the Print Whisper. And then I thought, who wants to wear Print Whisper t-shirts? Right.
Well, we
Because,
all do, and I have to admit to you, I haven't got mine yet, so I apologise. But I have to tell everybody that the whole of the All Stars are behind you and this venture, and where everyone's purchasing them. So you have your disciples, my friend. But I think the key point about these t-shirts, because people say they're just t-shirts, it's the rhetoric on them. It's the way that the messaging's coming across. And I think that's the important part here. We've all got a job to do in the print industry, like the All Stars had during Print United. We've got to spread the word far and wide. And I like your story because you are a modern PSP who's embracing dipping their toe into the tech space, because that's what the future looks like. And you just said it was hard. It wasn't easy, but guess what? If you had to do another storefront next year, you can. You know where to start. You know what's hard. You know what you need help
oh
with.
my God. So let me just tell you how hard it is. So first I see, like, coming up on all my feeds from Shopify, get a store and we could put one together.
Yeah,
Not them, all the other designers out there that are offering that they could put stores together for you for 5 minutes.
yeah,
Yeah, they could sign you up and register your name. I have
yeah,
140 designs, 7 sizes and 6 colors or more, because I wanted everything to be colorful because we live in the color. But I went in and I did everything in the back end. I've got the attention span of a pea. That was torture for me to sit here. I must have put 200 hours in because I do them all, and then I make a mistake and there's a conflict between, the print manufacturer and the storefront. And you
yeah,
can go line by line and change them, but when you have that many lines, it takes forever. So redo it all and redo it all. In the meantime, super proud that I got it up. It's still not perfect, and I still have to go verify today that things are in the right order and columns. But talk about feeling good. So all of a sudden, from an old the classic print guy with, even though we did some digital, but I was an offset guy and a flexo guy and all that stuff. And now I'm doing this and I'm bridging the two.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to be using print on demand. And hopefully I'm going to need a ton of it. So it's keeping the machines busy and the cornets and all that other stuff. And then I still have the human side of it. I like the fact that I don't have any employees, but if it does blow up, I'm happy to bring on people to help. But this is the cool thing. On Shopify, you get an order and you get a noise like the cash register ringing, right? And I didn't know what it was the first time. And I heard it and I'm like, what is that? I thought something was going on in the house. And then when it happened again, I was like, oh my God. Now when it happens, I just jump up and down and dance in the house and scream. I'm so excited. But I had a lady 3 weeks ago, and the store's only open a month. She went and bought 6 t-shirts. This is actually, you will appreciate this story, not because she bought 6 t-shirts, but what I'm going to tell you. So she bought 6 t-shirts. The bell goes off, cash register. I'm looking at my phone, and Shopify is amazing for their data, their detail. I never even knew that much about that stuff before because I never had to. Now I'm looking at all their pages, all the lines, everything they give you, the sessions, who's live, who's not. I'm spinning the globe to see who's on where. But anyways, forget that. So lady orders 6 t-shirts, and I see 6 t-shirts. I am freaking out. This is like, oh my God. And it's not that it's a lot of money, because it's not. But if you do it times a million, it is. And that's the sales guy thinking, always multiplying. And anyways, I look, and what do? I pick up the phone and I call her.
Oh.
And her name's Kim. Actually, I'm going to introduce her to her better because I'll tell you. So I pick up the phone and I call her and I say to her, Kim, I go, Warren Word with the Print Whisperer, and I just had to call you to say thank you. Why? Because you made my day.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, you made my day. Yeah. I said, actually, if I could be really honest, I'm probably the happiest I've been in 3 years since I'm getting back on track, getting my life together. Yeah. I said, and wow. And thank you. And she's kind of just smiling. She's laughing. I hear it. And then she says to me, thank you. And I go, what are you thanking me for? She goes, I thank you for what you do in print because I subscribe to your podcast. And I think it's great. And now I'm almost crying on the phone. I got goosebumps. I'm standing there, not shaking, but I'm almost shaking.
Yeah.
Not what I expected. Right. But this is the part that I really love. I asked her, how did you come across the site? Because it's only been up a month. I haven't done anything online other than some personal emails to everybody in my contact and some LinkedIn. And she says, well, and if you're an owner listening, listen, I didn't go, but I sent a couple people to Printing United.
Hey.
Okay, so if you're an owner and you can't go, send someone. Anyways, they brought back one of the cards that I'm looking for that I was can't find, of course, everywhere. Oh, they brought back one of the cards that I was leaving on every table, every chair, and every floor. I'm on the floor, right? Littered the place, but it's a renewable resource, so it's okay. And she said a couple people brought it back, and I went on and I saw them and I loved them, and great. So a couple things. One, how cool that I entered into this new venture, and I'm not successful yet, but I'm doing it. I'm making it happen, and I feel that I'm hitting milestones as I get things done and out there. Yeah. As more people like my posts on LinkedIn and or join the Facebook group that I just started, which is pretty cool, Print Whisper Tees. I'm excited for me doing something again. I'm entrepreneur. Like I'm tangible. I need to be dealing with stuff. I got to be able to see, touch, feel, pick up, and that, and do. And then that's great. And then it's the whole learning the e-com platform with the web to print platform. And I'm like a modern print guy now, not just the classic. I'm a well-rounded, but I'm speaking to a lot more people than I thought I would. Last week, a fella called me up and he ordered 24 t-shirts. I love print for everyone in his company. Right. And I'm on the phone with him and I'm taking care of it. I'm handling it. It's not online anymore. It's too much. Then I get an email from somebody else, actually another person in print, and they're thinking they want some t-shirts to give out to customers. And I said to that, oh, you're going to like this. I said, and I said, you could even put your name on it somewhere. And they're like, no. They're like, we don't need it so big. We're not there we just want to say thank you to them and let them know what we're
Yeah,
doing. And I'm
yeah,
like, you know
yeah,
what? I said, you got it. I said, because the truth is, when you're doing merch, if your name is too big, I mean, personally, I won't wear someone else's thing unless it's a fishing shirt really big. But nobody wants to, not people aren't keen on promoting all of other people's companies. But
it's tacky. It's tacky.
you put out a nice
Yeah,
product, something
yeah,
subtle,
yeah.
casual. If it's good quality, I will wear it all the time. Right. So
Yeah, yeah.
all of a sudden, sorry, drawer's opening on its own. The room is haunted.
Ghost.
All of a sudden, I'm reason to call people.
Yeah.
And
And I
I'm not
think,
sorry, I'm not looking to sell promotional items.
yeah. But just
So
there's two things there for my marketing like buzzers
yeah,
going off, right? And there's two things there that I love about that what you've just described. You are picking up the phone and speaking to people. This is a dying approach to sales and marketing now. And the other thing you've done is you printed something up and you've given it out. And people will laugh and go, of course, we're in the print industry. But no, it's not. People are not doing it as much as they should be in everyday walking life. And you're embracing every touch point for that human, whether it's digital, whether it's physical, whether it's telephone. Like that is so important, picking up the phone to someone and going, thank you. Like that's a basic human trait that we're losing. And as we become oversensitized with digital content, you and I were just chatting about this offline, and I was going off at you on one, wasn't I? But this is where the telephone, radio, and print, and we sit out here in the Middle East, like print is on fire out here, and it's because traditional ways of marketing are so important. And you scream that, Warren, and it's great. And that's what I love about our industry is that it can pivot through the trends,
So the other thing I'm doing is, you buy a T-shirt, you get a handwritten thank you card from me.
Oh, you flirt.
Now, first of all, I never really write anything, but we're in the world of print, so the online stuff is great. But again, you get this. So I've had 3 people send me a note after they received it, right? And I'm just smiling because and by the way, when I write it, if I make a typo, I just cross it out and keep writing. This is all full authenticity. I'm not wasting another card.
It's authentic.
I don't care. First of all, I only have so many, so I can't waste them. And the more you write, the harder it is to read. But then I just say I was going to be a doctor and I was practicing scribble. But just actually, I went to pick a friend up the other day. I'm going to post a picture later. I go to pick up a friend up the other day because we're going fishing on Saturday. And not only is he wearing a Castaway sweatshirt, which I don't have because I didn't get one yet, but he took the thank you card and it was taped to his front window of his house. Right. And it was just, it was all a joke for me, but I said, hey, I said, go stand beside the window. I'm taking a picture. You just became a post.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even joking, even if people are joking.
Yeah, no, sure, man. I think the other thing, if I can just carry on about talking about the t-shirts, is because before you launched the t-shirt or the online store, you and I were on calls about the mental health and the wellness campaign called Sheep for Brains, which you're supporting. Which, thank you for that. So obviously, just to give people a bit of insight, Jess Cola, GPA, Dave Rosendahl, Mindfire, John Bailey, Precision Proco, and myself set this thing up to help the one. You've leaned right in, man. Like, you not only do you support it, you verbally and physically support it, but even your shirts scream the same messaging that we try to promote. So I just want to say thanks for that, because we need people like the Print Whisperer to help spread the word on mental health and wellness.
Yes, I'll say thank you again, because you're supposed to say thank you when someone compliments you. But the truth is, the store is based on my life in the last 5 years, right?
Okay.
I happen to, my passion for print, and that's where I've grown up and lived and made my living, and how I raised my kids and paid to send them to school and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
It's good. And then fishing is beyond what brings me the most happiness. And when I'm out in the outdoors, nothing else matters. And we sometimes forget about nothing else should matter. Mental health, the last 5-6 years that I can go back farther in my life, have been upside down. And, whoever's going through stuff, it's not easy, but you have to work at it.
Yeah.
And you have to be honest with yourself, right? You have to work it. So I've been doing that. And in doing that, not that I've ever been shy, but I'm pretty good to share my life stories if it's going to make someone else's a little easier,
Yeah.
because I don't know, uh, just over the last so many years, it just seems like there's way more people carrying a lot of heavy,
Mm.
right? And friends in my circle, and then around, and so anything one could do to help, to promote, to offer up, even to say to someone, dude, you're not alone, or do that
Yeah.
because you don't want to
Yeah, I
insult
appreciate that.
anybody.
And I think, again, my respect for you is you're coming at it from a PSP perspective. So you're not just
It's
of
all I
somebody.
know. I mean,
I
20,
know, I
20,
know.
29 years of print, 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 print,
Yeah,
selling, 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 whatever. That's all you know. So, and our industry is big, and so many
tough.
people are friends with everybody, and it goes
Yeah,
way back. So if why not all get together and support each other?
yeah.
I mean, what is it? Once you get into print, you don't get out so easy.
I know. I agree with that. I concur. It doesn't matter what part or where you sit in the ecosystem. It's pretty special.
Yeah. So
It's
it's,
tough as well. It's special, but it's also tough. And like you say, the last few years has been really tough post COVID. And one of the researches that we carried out was that the PTSD and trauma from COVID is only now just becoming apparent, because where naturally as a human you've got through it and you've got to the other side, you still need to disperse all of that feeling that you've been keeping inside, where you've been just trying to keep going, and it's starting to come out. And I think people need time to sort of process that and deal with it. And I don't think we know enough about it. And the sad thing is, if that's what it's like in the print industry, there's probably other industries as well that need help. But anyway, let's focus on our industry.
Just humans everywhere today,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
woman, child,
yeah,
need some help,
yeah,
and need support, and
yeah.
everybody at some point needs something. And the other thing that I've learned, is just in terms of judgment, we really all should do our best not to judge anyone else for any
Yeah.
reason. You never know what the cover is, and you don't know what's on the inside. Listen, I'll just kind of funnily say it, like everyone says to me, "Oh my God, you don't look your age. You look so good. You look something." Like, yeah, yeah, okay, thanks. I said, you should see the inside. It's rotting, right? I mean, it's not really. Maybe it is, but everyone should just take everything for what it is, treat people the way they want to be treated, and then get it back. There's no
Mm,
point in any of
mm.
us losing our mind, and our blood pressure goes up and down for nothing, because it all goes back to the same at the end. So, and we're on this planet for a short time. Let's make it the damn best time,
We are, man. We are.
right?
Too short.
So,
Too
okay.
short.
So now that we touched all the important things in life, tell me a little bit about you,
Yeah.
your background, and what's this digital ink thing.
Yeah. So, marketeer, I think, is probably the easiest way how I started life. Um, been working with print clients since, well, last sort of 12 to 15 years. And then last 10 years working with in Figo in web to print personalization, which was a fantastic opportunity to learn all the good things about automation and configuration of the journey of storefronts through to workflow, and that really how what it comes down to. And again, we touched on this, I think, a little bit offline. It's a shame we didn't record it, really. But one of the biggest things we got excited about was when a customer would call in or give us a case study and say, "I'm making profit on a $50 job." But it's because for us that they bought into the journey and the strategy of fully automated workflow with good marketing, sales strategy. And then now they've got the volume going through it. And that's the sort of thing that really was great about, for me, the last 10 years, learning those strategies and playbooks and things. And then I moved out to the Middle East about a year ago, and just kind of fell in love with print in a different way. Like, it's very different here, but quite raw. I think you and I discussed a little bit when we were in Orlando that they get the importance of the hardware, and they get excited over the hardware, and it's very sort of kid-like watching them with the press. But then there's me there going, "But you need software and you need automation." So I fell in love with bringing those messages back, that we were discussing 10 years ago in America, and now they're needed here. But the other bit that was really romantic was to see the demand out here for it, whether it's wide format, whether it's, even from the point of view of the apparel side of things, it's just all flying, it's all booming. So as I moved out here, I made the decision that it was also time for me to do what I do and what I love for many rather than the few. So I set up this agency called Digital Inc. It's an Anglo-Arab agency. We're based. Well, we have the team are based across the globe. Really, we've done work in Australia and we've done work in Canada, America. Like we're everywhere. But print is a global business. Print is an international business. I think if you adopt the industry properly, that's a prerequisite. But yeah, we generally focus on driving value, and however that looks, and that could be something from an automation piece, or it could be for driving leads, or it could be for sales. But of late, we've been pulled into the AI conversation quite a bit, and it's something that we're very careful to discuss because there's a lot of BS around it. But then there's also a lot of cool stuff that I don't think the industry realizes that we've been doing with AI for 20 odd years. I had the opportunity to form a partnership with Smart Elephant, Harrison Bailey, who is a very refreshing business. They're a team of ex-students that have come out of university and formed this kind of AI development house. And where we've kind of dovetailed, we've kind of created a turnkey solution for PSPs where we can creatively, strategically put together the content, the marketing plan, the design, and those guys can bring in the technical aspects, the product build, the bespoke apps if you need to be on an app store, and together it makes sort of like a like I say, a turnkey solution. So it takes away a lot of that stress. And what's been great with those guys is they've got some fantastic case studies with the likes of Blooming Colour, who you'll know.
Mm-hmm.
So where we are right now is we had opportunities in other sectors, but there's just so much to do in our space, Warren. And it's one of the things I love about this industry is it's extremely creative, but it's extremely technical as well. And if you're not excited about one, you're excited about the other. So we're pretty much print specialist marketing agency, and I think the future is exciting for us. We just need to navigate some of the global political issues. But I think the more the industry collaborates and the more we come together and meet in person, the more we're coming up with community systems, processes to counteract the negativity in the world and push print forward. And I have to come back to Print United again, because I felt for me that was a really refreshing event where as a group we came together and we were all very different. We all had different skill sets and stories, yet we seemed to gel and really raise the profile. So
Just on Print United real quickly, I thought it was great. I know there's a lot of people out there that talk about shows aren't worth it, aren't necessary, too expensive. Those are like the Scrooge of Christmas. I think when you put people together, forget.
Yeah.
Yes, the vendors are there because they want to sell and it costs a lot of money to go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But on the flip side of that, it's just, again, getting people together, conversations, talking, creative, and moving things around. And this year, for the first time in a long time, it really seemed like everybody was happy to be there. I said to someone, I got home and I didn't even see some of the people I wanted, which never happens because I usually walk the show in 90 minutes and then do it 6 more times the same day and I'm good. Yeah. This time I was like, keep getting stuck. So
I know, right?
that was really good.
Yeah.
So digital marketing and printers.
Well, anything that touches the printer, including the printer, because you have to. Sorry to interject there, Warren.
Yeah, it's cool.
We also get involved in some of the hardware pieces because and you and I've had this discussion, and I'm not going to mention any names, but if you're going to invest in a huge piece of hardware, which is going to cost you quite a sizable amount of money, and there's risk, which you've educated me on this. There's risk in that, but also to achieve the ROI that was potentially sold to you when you were looking at this piece of equipment. You've got the software and implementation part, which sometimes gets downgraded, but without that, that big beast doesn't purr correctly. So yes, front end marketing, web to print, print on demand is probably our core and what we've got more experience in. But it's generally just listening to what the challenge is in the business and then finding the solution to fix that. And like I said to you, when we talked about the Infigo times and PSPs that were getting great ROI with $50, $100 jobs, that doesn't happen with magic. It happens with a team. It happens with a stack. It happens with vendors and OEMs all getting behind the PSP and all jumping on a call together. I've been on calls with 10 partners and we've politely said to the customer, the PSP, can you just leave the call? We got this. We'll report to you in a minute when we've got what you need and we'll come back to you with a solution. Customers like, great. And they're probably not happy at that original point because there's a problem, but they leave the call, the 10 partners get it done, and then the customer's happy. And that's where we're at. That's where we're coming from.
No, I think it's important. I think I'm just always a little bit stuck because I used to buy everything that came across my plate. I just love to buy. The world has changed. You can't do that anymore, right?
Yeah.
It's too hard. It's too expensive. And you said ROI. I am sick of when someone comes in to do an ROI for me based on what they're trying to sell me. It has to be the biggest crock of shit because it's all skewed to one reason and one cause, and that's the person who's selling you the equipment. And they're doing their business, right? It's fine. I'm not. But it's when you come and do ROI, you take stuff off one machine and put that's not yours, that's paid for, and put it on another. It's a problem. You can't make more money off something else when you already own the equipment. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Right?
So just to give you a software point of view on that, I've been in conversations over the last 10 years where someone would approach you to buy your product or they like the idea of your product. And then you have to be very honest and transparent and say, okay, what do you have in your stack, which is the next point of the workflow? So let's say, what's your MIS? If there's not a good fit with what they're asking to buy, then really, if you're good at your job, you will turn around and say, yeah, that even needs extra work for this to work the way you want it to, or you need to change providers. But what tends to happen in our industry now, as the tech space is evolving, is this ecosystem. The other partners are getting other partners together in the call, and that's why the PSP is getting. And I hate to use I know you don't like the phrase, but ROI, because people aren't just going and selling their stuff. They're working collaboration with other people within the ecosystem. And I think that's the nice bit. That's the warm, fuzzy part of our industry. The bit that's not nice is when people come in and go, I'm going to sell you this one thing and it's going to bring you X. That is BS. That is bad.
I like the approach if you can bring a few people together that are all vested because they all do a different thing, but they're all connected. Absolutely. Then, no one wants to be the weak link. But when you're dealing
also, I think if you go with partners, again, from experience, if there's a two-way communication between the two software partners, there's been development and investment between those two partners over a period of 10 years. Right. So that's been tried and tested by many PSPs around the globe. Many systems, many things have gone wrong. Many things have gone right. But the difference is you're getting a communication where you've got two-way transaction or two-way passing of data. If you're dealing with both those partners, or you have one already in and you bring the next one in, it is good for you. It really is, because you've then got, and you've basically got your own sort of tech department in essence, because like you say, the other one won't want to let you down and look silly in front of their partner either, right? And they both will want a case study, or they both will want to prove the ROI, but they need each other to do that, because that's where you get what I'm saying to you earlier, that profit on a $50 job is when everybody is all working off the same hymn sheet.
Yeah, if you could make that happen. Right. I don't know how rampant that is. No, I didn't. No. I said I don't think it's rampant, but if you can make that happen and bring more people to the table, then everybody has a vested interest. the truth is, when people put a bigger effort into building the relationship and it's done right, it
Sure.
goes longer. I mean, I was never one. I don't like changing every 3, 6 months or whatever. It's a pain in the
Yeah.
ass, right? Not even. I mean, I tell it all the time. But I was with Fuji for 27 years. I never switched for another plate for $1.
Wow.
Why? Because to change, all my certifications had to be redone. GAD G7 has to be redone. New plates, new chemicals, new ink. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not worth it for $40,000 of plates, maybe, if it is that, right?
Yeah. I hear
For
you.
the changes. And that's how you build real relationships. I don't know if the word relationship really means today what it used to, or is it just used as one of the buzzwords in business today?
Yeah, I don't know. I think again, watching like you and everybody else in our circle, you do have relationships with partners. I would use the word relationship. I also notice you have relationship with your customers, and I like to say that the software vendors, the OEM partners, they would all have a relationship of sorts with their customers, and those that don't suffer, and they suffer because they don't invest in that relationship. And again, if you go to a Print United, you can see those that are making the effort just by going around the booths, because you've got a booth that's set up for selling, obviously, brand awareness, but you've also got booths that were there that were set up to sit down and have meaningful conversations. And then in the evenings, you've then got the OEMs, the software providers, the vendors, the exhibitors having customers. I was invited to attend one by a Canadian company, funny enough. And what was really interesting was I went along to this meal and their customers there, some prospects, and it was so natural, so wholesome, so authentic. But the conversations just were probably slightly more meaningful than on the trade show floor, because there was less distraction. People were there, sat there for a couple of hours. People were looking properly. They were talking. It was really good, and I saw a lot of that going on. So I think if you invest in that relationship, then it means the same thing as it did in the past. Definitely. I think, and again, my concern with the digital world right now is I don't think we are investing enough in it, and I think we're instant messaging and the way social media works now. I think that's becoming how we have our relationships. So then when we do meet in person, some people are very awkward. I personally quite like the face to face. I'm a bit of a hugger as well. I'm a bit of a tactile person with that. But I think if you can have those kind of relationships with people, then I think you've got the long haul, you've got the longevity there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, the whole digital world and social media, it's all fun, to look at a few things, but it doesn't really enhance your life. If
No, it
anything, it
doesn't.
probably makes most people's lives a little harder, because you're seeing everything that's harder to obtain or almost impossible to obtain,
Yeah.
right? So I kind of like watching my social media feeds for dog rescues and practical jokes. That's what I get the most out of mine, right? Because if I'm going to look at it, then I want to be laughing and I want to feel good.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
want to be depressed. But we as an industry, like I was when we were printing United and I was speaking, and I said it before. I asked everyone if they had their best business cards in their pocket, and they all just looked at the floor, right? I think we as an industry have to step up our own messaging. I think
Yeah.
we as an industry have to promote what it is we do. I actually have like 3 different business cards with me here, all with embellishment. And you know what? I
Yeah.
don't expect people to keep them. I'll tell you what I do. If I scan your contact information at a show, I forgot who you are I forgot who you are before I finished scanning.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
don't remember the name of a movie when I walk out of the movie, just because there's so much going on and I'm looking around and brains at warp speed.
Sure.
I get business cards from people. First of all, I notice who gives me a shitty thin business card, because I don't want to do business with them, right? That's not holding up your brand and you're not
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
And the people who give me cards that are cool end up on my desk. This
Yeah.
is 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
And I slowly, when I have a few minutes, I go through them and I weed out the garbage ones that I don't like. Right? And I go, here's the going out pile.
Yeah.
And I go through them and I notice them and then I keep them. And I'm like, I might even call someone like and say, wow, just if you're in sales, folks, it doesn't take anything.
No,
you don't have to think of much to pick up the phone and call anybody. You saw something, you felt it, you just wanted to say hi.
Yeah,
right.
And I think that's the message from our conversation here, isn't it? It's the old-fashioned thing, dying out, but actually you need to invest in that.
Yeah. It was funny this morning, and I guess everyone's hearing it right now because it's fresh on my mind, and I'm keep talking about this person. But so when I was at the show and doing these T-shirt things, and I bump into a fella as I look around here, I bump into this fella. We start talking, best conversation, and I'm selling him on T-shirts, and I'm saying, "Oh, you look like you like T-shirts." And after I finish talking, and I'm like, "So what do you do?" And he goes, "Well, I've been selling T-shirts for 40, 50 years." And turns out that I was speaking with Ron Goodwin, who is well-known, well-liked by everybody in the industry. And he took me around, right? And it was just so, oh my God. Like even on the back of his phone, he had somebody to clean his phone. We started talking about it. So he took it off. He gave it to me. Right?
I remember that conversation because you came and found me and you said to me, I've just met this guy and he's just taking me around the whole show floor and I know everyone now.
And I just called him this morning, first time since the show. Right. And I call and he picks up the phone and he's like, hey, Warren. And I'm like, I wasn't like, how do you know it's me? It's caller ID, obviously. But he was just, laughing and we were laughing. And I was telling him, and he said to me, he goes, I got to give you shit, basically. I'm like, for what? What could I have done now? I only spoke to you once or twice. He goes, you're telling everyone it's 40 years. I've been selling shirts for 50 years. So I said to him, I will start to correct that right away, right?
Yeah.
But so if you take a guy like him, whoever you are, whatever you're selling, whatever you're doing, put a smile on. Be happy. Be inquisitive. Listen. There's so many things. It's like, wow. And then even if you're a company. So what I'm doing with the T-shirt store, and I'm not just promoting T-shirts. I'm giving 10% of my profits to Make-A-Wish Foundation, right? Mm-hmm. The reaction that I've been getting from people, and maybe just because the world's in a funny place right now, but I think kids that aren't well need a better chance, an opportunity to do something they remember that carries them forward, gives them some momentum and some drive. But every company, find something to do. It doesn't have to be big even, right? Why? The customers will appreciate it. Your people will appreciate it. I'm just learning that life is bigger than me. And I've learned that a long time ago. But if I could help spread that, right?
Do you know what, Warren? I wanted to say to you, man, I think you're misunderstood. I think I misunderstood you. I'm not just saying that to, blow smoke, but I think you've got got the right ideas. So,
I think people from the first video take it as being a little rough, maybe. Screaming and the swearing, but at the end of the day,
I call it authentic. It's authentic.
People use that word. At the end of the day, I said it the other day. What you see is a big outer shell, right? And if you speak to my therapist, part of that outer shell goes back to being younger and putting mechanisms in place that you have to use to defend yourself.
Sure.
So but I'm just saying I'm so aware of all kinds of stuff, always trying to make adaptations and change along the way to make it better. But again, I'm gonna have to go listen to this podcast after, because I think I've said thank you to you 11 times now. I'm making a little
I just think
no, it's all good. I'm making in prison, I'm making every time you say it, I'm
you'll get out soon, mate. You better escape soon.
No, when you're in print, you never get out, right?
No.
So let's talk about the printer. And what do you think the printer has to do to elevate themselves and their companies? Because you've spoken with enough, you've seen enough. I could tell you what I think, but what do you think is someone who goes in and what are they not doing? What could they be doing? Why are they not doing? Why are they doing?
I don't think they realize how versatile they are. I don't think they realize how many things they can manufacture, create, print, or whatever. And I don't think they necessarily know how to articulate that message or that offering to their customer. Let's take you, for example. You've just put together a storefront that can sell apparel. Something like that could be huge for their customers, where they could have storefronts where they could have bespoke products, personalized products, even just lockdown products they could just log into, whatever. So I think they're in a bit of a strange spot right now, isn't it? They've got this kit, they've got this experience. They're in a world where speed to market is so fast now with digital. You can very quickly create a new product. The embellishment side of things, the coatings, it's all so exciting. But I think there's a communication gap. And then there's this extra piece where you've got the tech and the AI, where I think there's an element of fear there. There's an element of not knowing where to start. What do they need? What don't they need? So I think my advice would be to attend the events, to sit and listen to as many people as possible who are tried and tested. Look at other printers and see how they've grown their supply chain. See who they're partnering with. See how they're personalizing candy bars. Look into the 1 times a million, 1 times 1 sort of theory. Because the whole kind of one person wants to order one shirt, one thing, whatever, but you've also got to gang and batch that job with multiple other orders. Look at those kind of things, multiple revenue streams. But I think the biggest thing to go back before you get to all of that is understand what you really can create, because I don't think you really understand the options. And I think that's the first bit. And then understand the language of how you're going to explain that to your customer.
So, yeah, absolutely. So as you're doing all that, I wrote down that I think you guys, Digital Inc., should come up with a list of the top 10 things you think printers should be doing in order to expand, to grow, to better themselves, to offer their customers more services.
I would make that our next white paper.
I think people have to think about their culture also in their business.
Yes.
Okay, more than I always had a place where I just wanted to party with everybody, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. I just will leave that at that. But when you got a younger crowd and you want to be, connect with them, you got to do different things. And bringing, I always believed that we had a social club where, every employee gave a couple bucks and then we matched everything and put 2 people in charge, because it was guys, come up with ideas to do something as activities, right? I had veto power, but what I vetoed was if they had a gathering and they were ordering food and I didn't think the food was up to par, so I would up the food and bring in better food and cover it. But whatever it was, it's more getting together, more getting to know each other, working. When you have a great culture and customers come in, the customers immediately feel where they're walking into the same way they feel when they're walking into a shit shop.
Yeah.
And a shit shop meaning things aren't going well, it's dirty, the feeling is bad, the people aren't nice, and you don't get a warm welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's so many little things that I don't think people do. And most importantly, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I wanted to just go on your point. Like you're bang on in terms of what you're saying, the top 10 things they should be doing. But I think we've covered quite a few on this call, and we're talking about face-to-face meetings. We're talking about picking up the phone. We're talking about, if you've got somebody that's been ordering business cards from you for 20 years, there should be a regular weekly phone call in there. There should be.
I was going to say, how many people are not calling on their customers that are giving them regular business because it's online?
It's scary. I tell you. And it's getting worse. And this is the problem. The more we get comfortable with the digital communication, we're losing that.
Cards. Just a thank you card in your own, and not even on your
man.
And no notes on writing on a computer. You got chicken scratch for handwriting. It's your own. Own it.
Yeah.
Then they know that you took the effort. You picked up a pen and that you know how to use a pen.
Yeah.
I mean, I've spelt my name wrong and sent it out because I'm going so fast. But what do they
Yeah,
know? They're not looking how I spelt my name. But yeah,
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
making me crazy that we live in a communications business and we don't communicate.
Yeah, no, I think no. So anyway, I think I'm more than happy to put something together for your listeners. You can, I'll
Oh
give
no,
it
it's
to
not
you.
for my listeners. It's for everyone in our industry and everyone you come across because we need to get a common.
Yeah.
We need. Okay, you know what? Where I live, we sometimes have a lot of times the Dairy Association producing milk commercials to remind people to drink milk,
Okay.
right? Or
Fair enough.
what the fuck is up with that? Who needs the fucking money? Why are you spending money to drink milk? First of all, I don't drink another animal's milk to begin with, so it's almond milk. But
Yeah. Yeah.
so if they're doing that, I have to believe there's a reason, and maybe because they use some of the biggest agencies in the world that get paid big money. I don't know. But then I look at our industry and all of our associations, and why don't we have anything? And you know
Well,
what?
yeah.
We
Well,
don't. Sorry,
yeah,
that's why I have a T-shirt that says I fucking love printing.
yeah,
Because
and
I
I
don't
think
see anyone wearing anything that says I love printing.
yeah, and working with Dave Rosendahl, one of the founders of Sheep for Brains, he's
Mm-hmm.
the founder of a company called Mindfire Inc. He's really opened my eyes to direct mail, and we actually had Dave on the on Print Island, which is I have a guest segment on there called The
Where
Matrix.
hasn't Dave been? He's
I've got
the
to be
best. No,
careful
it's
what I
only
say
because he's
here.
the best. Only because he's the best, right?
Okay, I got to keep it clean.
Yeah. No.
Dave,
Hello. Where are you going? I wasn't going there. I was just trying to give him a
Dave,
plug because he works really hard to promote everything our
he's a
industry.
legend. He's a legend, and some say he's the chosen one, but that you should get him
I
on and
didn't say that. Yeah.
but Dave's really opened my eyes to the importance of direct mail, especially in North America. And actually, he really, really pushes the boundaries on what printers can do with direct mail. Some of the stuff that he's got coming out in 2026 is amazing. But what I love about Dave and what he stands for is he doesn't just believe it in his messaging and his rhetoric. He doesn't just believe it in his creations and what he's doing with tech, but he also goes to Capitol Hill and he'll stand in front of Congress and he will back his point up and he will fight for the industry. With the government, and I just think, I think going back to your point with the milk cartons and labeling and packaging, it all comes back to your original question on what do we need to tell the printers, what do they need to learn, and there's a huge gap as an industry on how we can sell ourselves to the outside world. And I think we could get some of the top agencies to see what we can do. Fireworks.
It's so let's stick to direct mail for a moment. And I'm sure Dave talks about it, and if he's not, he should, and you should, and everyone. I don't know why every company is not doing their own direct mail campaigns. Like I want to
agree with you.
I want to kick and scream, right? Because really, so and I'm going to keep saying it. I might even make a T-shirt that says, I do my own direct mail. If you, and this is my case that I tell people what they should do, right? You're a print company. Come up with a 12-month campaign. If you have in-house graphics, great. If you don't, use one of your customers, barter with them, give them print in exchange if you don't want to put out the cash. Or just pay them the cash because you want them to pay you for the price of print that you charge. And when you're bartering, folks, it's top dollar. Nobody lowers their price and discounts to barter. So when you give when you're going to barter print, you go in high, your designer's going in high. I just don't want you to have an argument or fight with them. Okay, because that's what bartering is, top dollar. But you have the designer. You have the paper in your place, or you can get it. Don't bother asking the paper company for a discount. It's not worth the amount of paper you're doing. And if they want something back from you, it costs you more. I'm not a big believer in always asking people for stuff because it costs you more in the long run. But you do a 12-month campaign, different things. You could have a letter, you could have a postcard, a pop-up, anything that's addressed. Now you track it. Find 1,000 people within 3 to 4 miles of your business. Send it out regularly. Every month, you'll fix up the bad addresses. If you do nothing with it, you're going to get back a 2, 3, 4% return of people calling. Then you now could supply your salespeople with leads because they're not calling because most don't know how to call. And then you don't have to get mad at them because they didn't call, but you keep them going. And then they could actually do better. You could follow up with the people that didn't return the call from the mailing. But now, most importantly, at the end of the year, your sales are up whatever percentage. Your salespeople are happier because now you're supplying them some leads instead of just beating them up on what did they do this week. But for me, this is the biggest takeaway. You now get to build your own case study on your direct mail campaign with true numbers that you use, that you could talk about to the customer because you've done it, you spent the money, and it's not a makeup story. Why don't they do it?
I completely agree, but I'm going to throw something else at you here. One of the things I find refreshing about MindFind, what Dave does, and we had him on the Matrix recently to talk about this, they provide probably guidance around an omni-channel. So we're not just talking about direct mail, they're talking about everything, right? But the best bit about it is that the platform that they created would have every single piece of that omni-channel, and then you can then see the results of how direct mail is done versus email versus social media. And then what that does is that sorts the wheat from the chaff, or that sorts the mindset out. And like I say, I'm a believer, man. And I feel a little bit silly, if I'm honest with you, Warren, that I haven't embraced it sooner, because it is it's powerful.
So don't feel serious, don't feel silly, don't beat yourself up. And I'm a big believer in don't go backwards. You now know it, go forward, put your foot forward, right foot, left foot, I don't care what you are, or jump together. Kind of got to please everybody, and then keep moving. But but I don't know why more printers are not doing it. If Dave listens to this podcast, I hope you do, Dave, because you should listen to every one of my podcasts, because I know you have plenty of time on your hands.
He told me earlier on he's a biggest fan of yours. So
and I know he has lots of time to listen to all my stuff I put out. But maybe Dave put together a little program specifically for printers that they could do it themselves to see how it is, and then your job after will be easier because they will now know what's possible. Right? Or it's the owner who hires the sales guy for 50, 60 grand base, because nobody works for free anymore. And then you expect them to do stuff, and it's 18 months before a salesperson's really rolling. But at the 7th month, you throw them out because you're tired of you don't like what you're seeing. But the truth is, you didn't give them the right tools.
Yeah, I agree. But I think, Warren, this is something we can pick up on the software space in the future. But I think an omni-channel approach is something that printers need to adopt. And I think the biggest thing we miss in this industry, going back to your business card point and having nice business cards, having with us, is we're all in the game of selling print. Whether you're me in software driving leads, whether it's you with the t-shirts, we're all in this game to do one thing, and that is to make stuff. So if we cannot send direct mail, or we cannot create a business card, or we cannot do a roller banner, or a tablecloth, a simple tablecloth.
Listen,
I've got a suitcase, right? We work with a company that did personalized suitcases, and I was very lucky back in the day to build their site with Infigo and my team. And that is real estate, right? On that suitcase, that is real estate. And every time you go for an airport terminal, right, you are literally a walking billboard. And we're talking a very, I don't want to undersell it here, but it's a very simple workflow to create this, okay? And not a large printer either. And these things are fantastic. And the best thing about them is you can keep changing the canvas that's underneath the cover. So you can change whatever that ad's going to be. Can you imagine all the cabin crew of all the airlines going through JFK with their branded suitcases? Can you imagine the QR codes you could add, the messaging? Can you imagine that? How many other things can we do as an industry like that?
Listen, we're printing on stairs at convention centers. We're printing on parking lots, the gates that go up, right? We're putting stuff. Print is everywhere. I don't know. Whatever, I don't ever want to hear two words in the same sentence, either trying to be positive or negative. It's like that. But but the printer needs to go out. And listen, we talk about the t-shirts, we talk about direct mail. So I got into selling merch when I had my company, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, if you're not doing it, call me. We could have a conversation. I could even help you out. But it's so worth it. And it's so nothing. When we started the merch thing, was actually funny, and it was more on a selfish note. And I've said it before, but so I saw this Toomey briefcase at the airport, and it was like $1,300, and I don't have it in me to go spend $1,300 on a briefcase. And then I thought, oh my, if I join ASI, plug for ASI, Tim Andrews, you could call me up and give me the commission later. I called him up and I thought, wow, if I join and I'm a promotional reseller, what a great deal. So I joined, called up to me and said, hey, I'm a part of ASI. I have a customer who's interested in one of your bags. How do I go about getting a sample? Because I know they're not free. Oh, no problem. This is the cost. I think it was half the price. And I gave my credit card. They sent me one. And I'm thinking, wow. So my membership for ASI, maybe $800, $1,200 at the time. I just saved $700 on this briefcase and feel pretty good about it. But then what did I do next? I went and I bought all of our own stuff as the vendor through ASI instead of giving it to somebody else.
Right.
So now I just paid for the membership in full, right? And then I said, you know what? Why don't we offer up a couple ideas to some customers? I didn't give them the book and say, go do this. Start a couple mugs, nice pens. Don't sell cheap shit if you go with the more expensive stuff. And before you knew it, we got in a few orders. And it was that easy. So it fell under the we do everything under one roof brand. And a lot of people that buy it, they don't care where they buy it from. But if you could make their life easy because they're speaking to you for something else,
yes,
you get it.
Job done. Yeah.
You know, same way call your old customers and reconnect with them. That's good marketing, right?
Yeah.
Who remembers what the problem was then? And it's probably not the same people, but you could remind them that you dealt with the company for a long time and people left and you love it. Easier to relight an old customer than a new one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, so many things, so many things.
So many things, Warren. So many things.
We can go on and on and on and on and on.
We can, my friend, we can. But I think I'll take that challenge. I think it's an interesting point of view. The other thing, just quickly, just to touch on Print Island. So we set that up in the summer, and it's going crazy. And all it really is a free to air platform where we discuss everything in print from substrate.
It's great.
And we believe in freedom of speech as long as it's respectful. But the biggest part is that the Print Island's a metaphor, that we're in this industry, but we're all on an island and we're not talking to each other. And before we can really thrive, we need to learn to communicate and share what we're all doing. So hopefully we get you on there, Warren.
Oh, I'll absolutely catch me on the island. I'm always good for a little island action, and it doesn't really matter what kind of island it is. But absolutely, and I love the name. Like, it's just so catchy.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, and for people listening, another great podcast. They're gonna have people on from all over the world, all in print, all doing different things. So you'll get to hear things you might never thought of hearing. And bigger thing is, it might give you some ideas. Just everything you listen to is about finding an idea in it.
It is, man.
Not what's wrong with what they're talking about. You can watch the news for that. But anything you're listening to, right? You want to find the good idea. Find something to talk about. Find something you could tell someone something about.
I think the other thing as well, Warren, is like, if you've got an idea, we want to hear it. Like, we feel quite strongly on trying to make this the best it can be, and then we've got to modernize. And if you've got an idea, come to us. You want to share it, let us know. We want to hear it, right? But
you can call me first and share it with me, and if I don't want it, then you can call them.
Yeah,
this is my show. This is my show first, that I'm plugging them. But don't pass by me.
No, we would never do that.
No, not you. I'm saying, and then, you know what? You all go wherever you're most comfortable, but just go and put it out there, and really put yourself out there. I want to see more people out there. I want to see more people doing things. I want to see more people on LinkedIn doing their own video instead of a static something or other, right? Just
absolutely
walk around the shops, bring your people on. And by the way, if you're listening and you're an owner, I want to talk to your receptionist. I want to talk to your head shipper. I want to talk to your head pressman. I'd even talk to a salesman. So if anybody's listening and you want to do a solid for anyone in your company and give them some exposure and let them talk about what they do and how proud they are to be where they are, reach out to me and let me have a session with them. I want to talk to
Awesome.
people that people don't talk to. Give them
Yeah.
a chance. So, okay, on that note, we're going to wrap this up because we could just keep spinning, but we will do this again and again and again because you're on the other side of the world. I'm on this side, and we're going to find everything that's common for everyone that everyone should be doing so that everyone could better themselves personally and professionally. How's that?
Absolutely. Amen.
Cool. So any final word before I cut you?
No, I think we just need to keep progressing, keep talking, and stay human, man. I mean, that's how we're gonna evolve and be a better industry, is being human.
Be true to yourself, right?
Awesome.
Everybody, I hope you made it to the end. I always hope you made it to the end. If you
It's a long
did,
one.
kudos to. If you made it to the end, reach out to me and let me know you made it to the end. I might have a surprise for you. Otherwise, I thank everybody always. I thank Chris. I thank for everyone who's been on the podcast and anyone who's going to come. Just love to put print out there. Until the next time, stay safe and print on. Cheers.